So, I don't know, not even 6 months ago, I put up these little posters on my wall. Now these aren't cars that I just fell in love with 6 months ago. These are cars that I've been in love with for years now. Like I said before, one day these cars are gonna be in my garage. And I never really thought that I would get one so soon. But hey, things happened, and as you guys saw, I picked up an E30. So now I'm super excited about this car because the possibilities are endless. This is something I can work on completely, not have to worry about no warranty, not have to worry about resale value, because I don't plan on ever selling it. And I'm just super excited. Like, this is something that this car is beautiful. This is mine. It's crazy. It's funny because the Dodge Charger parked out there has got no love in the recent months. This car has been getting a lot of attention lately, but now I already kind of know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna forget about both these cars and start working on this one. So this is a 1991 BMW 325i, and I'll give you guys a better walk around of the car. I'm sure you guys saw the little video of the intro of Yusuf shooting this car. Obviously did a great job per usual, but let me give you guys a quick walk around of the car. So starting from the outside, we have some cosmetic stuff or exterior stuff. So for one, we got the spoiler right here. It's not painted. I think it's how it came from, wherever they bought it from. Now, I do want to address that the paint is not pretty. There's a lot of body work that needs to be done. For example, right here, this was all bonded over. I'm guessing that there was a dent right here or something like that. So that was bonded over. Same thing goes for the other side, right above here. So this one still needs a lot more work. I guess it was a bigger dent, so that still needs to be addressed. If you look at the trunk lid, the swirls and stuff like that are crazy. And then over here, you have this very bad like rough spot. I don't really know what happened, but yeah, the car definitely does need a lot of cosmetic work. And then going over to the front, you have dents in the paint right here. You have rock chips and all that kind of stuff. You know, it comes with owning a 20-year-old car. I guess the people who owned it before me didn't really take care of it too much. I think I'm the second owner or third owner, something like that, but you could tell there was some janky work done on this car. But hey, it's a project car for a reason, and I can't wait to start working on it. So more things on the exterior. It is sitting on some brand new Toyo tires, which I'm super happy about, as well as these rims. So on the pictures, I really didn't like how these rims looked on the car, but now that I've been with the car for about a week or 2 weeks, the rims are really growing on me, and they actually look really nice. And I love the current stance of the car. It's not too high, it's not too low. It still rubs a little bit. It's a lot lower in the front. Give you guys a look here. So it's really low to the ground on the front side, which I really like. I kind of like the stance of the car right now. Obviously, it needs to be adjusted. These coilovers don't have dampening adjustments, so the ride quality is really rough right now. That's definitely something that we're gonna address in the future. But for the time being, I'm just gonna rock these coilovers. And like I said, the fitment's great, so no real complaints there. Then you have small stuff like this, and once they sprayed it, they just kind of let it dry as it was. And this is how it turned out. So this definitely needs to be sanded down. Luckily, sunroof still works. It got a big dent in it right there. I'm sure you guys can see it. A bunch of other scratches on the roof, but overall, the car looks clean. Hold on, let me give you guys a better look at it from the outside. So that's how it looks in its entirety. Coming to the inside of the car, the inside is actually in great condition. There's not much wrong with it. All the door cards are still intact on the car. Rear seats are pretty solid as well. You see? And everything works. So this works. This was aftermarket, so they put this in. Clock still works. All the buttons up here still work. windows go up and down still. These do not work actually, so I am wrong about that. So these two buttons do not work. I got lucky because there's no cracks in the dash. Usually these come with a large amount of cracks and they usually span the whole dash, so I got very lucky that there's no big cracks in this, and it's gonna be sitting in the garage for most of the time, so hopefully that never happens. Other than that, I do have a lot planned for the interior of this car. One other thing that does not work is this right here. So everything else works but this. So I guess the main project for me next is going to be taking out the entire cluster, putting in new LED lights, changing the face plates on the entire cluster, and then even adding some extra little bits here and there just to like spice up the car and bring it up to date in terms of looks. So I think that's going to be the first project that I do. And then you have small stuff like a small tear in the seat. So if you look right here, there's a small tear in the seat, but nothing that really bothers me too much. So in terms of the engine, everything on the car is stock. Luckily for me, the guy who owned it right before me kept pretty good care of the car, got the oil changed every now and then. He parked it inside his garage, never left it outside in the rain. So not too many issues on rust. Obviously there is some areas that need addressing, like right behind here, behind the fender well, where the jack mounts are, since the paint usually gets pushed to the side because of the jacks and whatnot, and that area. But the guy before me, he went ahead and just put Por 15 on everything just to stop that from kind of expanding throughout the rest of the car. One prime example of rust is right here. So this was rusting up. He put Por 15 on it very early on, so it didn't get too bad. And since then, it's been pretty good. It hasn't been creeping up anywhere else on the car. And then he did go ahead and put a custom exhaust on the car. So I think it's straight pipe from the cat back, but then he said it was way too loud, so he went ahead and threw a muffler on there. I think it's a Magnaflow muffler, and then he had the exhaust pipes kind of angled out sideways, which adds a little nice touch to the car. You can tell it's not completely stock, other than the spoiler and the rims, so I like that as well. I'm not sure if these cars come with drums or disc brakes, but this one has a set of slotted rotors, which is great because he said he put them on pretty recently, so I don't have to change those anytime soon. That goes for all the way around the car. And then going back to the engine, there's a few things that I do want to do. I want to get new spark plug wires, new fuel injectors, get an oil change on the car, obviously, just to make sure that the car is running good and there's no issues that might come up later. The car is idling a little bit rough. I wouldn't say it's too bad, so there's definitely something that needs to get addressed on the car, so we're gonna take a look at that in the future videos. But overall, I think I got a steal with this. And you know, I was telling some of my friends who came and looked at the car that these are all the dream cars, and now I got this one. I mean, it's not an M3. Luckily, the poster doesn't say it's an M3 because I already knew how expensive M3s were, and I don't think I'll ever get one. But I'm gonna leave it up here for future. You never know, I might have an E30 and an E30 M3. But then next up, it's definitely gonna be the Datsun. Those are a little bit out of the price range. Actually, the E36 is very doable, but the R34 and the Supra are what? Even if you import a R34, you're looking at 40, 50,000, and then in the States they're like 60, 70. Some of them are selling for like 100 plus, so the market is crazy right now. Overall, I'm super excited with the car. Like I said, this is gonna be a complete project. So first up, I'm gonna get inside, get that cluster fixed up, make sure everything is up to date with that. Add a few spicy touches to it, like a carbon fiber bezel and stuff like that, just to make it look a little bit more modern. Next up after that, I need to get under the car. I want to make sure that rust prevention is a top priority because these cars are prone to rusting. So coat the entire undercarriage of the car just so I don't have to worry about it in the future. And then from there, I actually got to go into the engine bay, like I just mentioned, change out all the fuel injectors, spark plugs, things like that, just to get the car running up and better. There is a lot of miles on the car. It's about 175,000 miles, but people who take care of these cars and these engines, they usually run up to about 300,000. So I'm not really worried about it. And if that ever happens, the engine blows, hey, you never know. Engine swap. This is gonna be a complete build, and I hope you guys tag along for it because it's gonna be an exciting one. I'm super excited. I've been looking at parts for this car for God knows how long. All the parts are just sitting in different cars and different websites and just waiting for me to hit buy. Once I do that, all the parts are gonna start rolling in. I'm gonna start getting to work on this car ASAP.